Welcome to the Good Buddies Anime Podcast. I am your good buddy Brandon.
And I'm your good buddy Roger.
And we're back.
We
always back. I keep saying we're back. It's not like we went anywhere. How you been, big boy?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
Roger's really excited for the new Coheed and Cambria.
I sure am,
He keeps
man.
playing the music while I'm sitting here trying to, check my tweets and
I see
go over
Brandon
my
over
notes.
there. As the progressions change and that melody picks in, I see him slowly raising the horns to the air.
You're a fool. Anyway.
It freaking rules. If you guys are fans of Coheed and Cambria, they got music coming out.
This guy.
On my birthday, actually. It's when that album releases.
Oh, happy birthday. You
Thanks,
think they did
man.
that for you?
I think so.
But Roger, nobody gives a fuck who you are.
Or where the fuck am I? I don't know.
It's pretty good. Anyway.
Yeah. So check that out.
That wasn't me insulting my good buddy Roger. That's a Coheed and Cambria lyric. All right.
He's always insulting me. I thought.
Well, yeah, but it's funny.
I thought you were quoting System of a Down.
No, man, that was what's it called? You're gonna go far. What's that song called? You Got Spirit, Kid.
Yeah, You Got Spirit, Kid.
Because nobody gives a fuck who you are. All right. It's a little Coheed and Cambria. All right, we're not here to talk. This is not the Coheed and Cambria fan cast, though we can make that happen. We could make that happen. But let me ask you, buddy, what have you been watching?
Dude, I have been watching a lot of stuff this week. I got a lot of catching up that I did.
Oh yeah.
I finished out a couple of series.
Oh, you didn't mention last week.
Yeah, I was going to talk about it. I finished up Full Metal Panic.
Yeah.
I should have said that last week. The new Full Metal Panic, Invisible Victory.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time Full Metal Panic had returned in 8 long years.
Pretty good.
And my God, I loved it. And it led right open to the next season, which I think is definitely going to get funded and brought out. So I'm super pumped about it. But it ended awesome and very wide open. But yes, it was great.
All right,
if y'all are fans of Full Metal Panic, y'all need to see that now.
All right.
I also finished Darling in the Franxx.
You liked it?
Yes, I did. I thought it was really good from start to finish. The ending that people, a lot of people thought it came out of left, and it did. It did have a big shift. And I finished up the last 2 episodes, and a lot of people said that it didn't deliver on its promises, but I'm not sure what the hell its promises were that needed to be delivered. Because I thought the story was, even though it did take a bit of a stranger turn, I thought it delivered in every way that it should. It was very, very good from start to finish.
As long as you liked it, who gives a shit?
Yeah. So I highly recommend checking it out.
Hell yeah.
What else did I watch? Well, let me tell you.
Oh boy.
My good buddy Brandon Bush had been talking about this damn Hanibado show. So I sat down.
Oh, that last episode was so fucking hot, though.
I sat down.
It was so good.
And I watched all 7 episodes in one night.
What'd you think?
Were out. I liked it. I do have one minor complaint about it.
What's that?
And maybe it's more major than minor. I don't know. It just depends on person to person. The secondary characters in the show, they get almost I still feel like I don't know who they are.
Yeah, they're getting they seem like they have their little B stories going on, but you don't get a whole lot of them.
Yeah, but you get very, very little bit. All I know is homegirl likes hot dogs.
Yeah.
After a good workout.
Meat is best after a workout or something like that.
I think she has feelings for another guy.
Seems like it.
Who may have feelings for another girl, but is so lightly hinted at that
yeah.
I don't know what feelings are where.
You see some wheels turning. They just don't. They obviously aren't center stage.
But, it's still got at least 5 more episodes to go. I don't know how many episodes.
Sure. I think it's going to be 12 or 13.
I'll keep up with it. I liked it. I thought it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I'll let you talk about the new episode a little more. I know it's yours, and I'm not going to steal it from you. But now I can at least follow along because I was I don't have anything to watch. I'm about to watch this Hanibado, all of it. Brandon's texted me about it.
I texted you out of nowhere the other night after I finished. I was like, holy shit, this show is so fucking good. I was losing it.
Yeah, I checked it out, and I liked it. I also checked out, that island show that I kept looking at
with the girl with the cool hair.
I like this girl. She's got really cool hair. It's like black and poofy. I watched a little bit of the first episode, and I turned it off, dude.
Why, bud?
Because there are points for a guy that enjoys a booby anime as much as I do. And I'm not saying this is a booby anime.
Okay.
But for somebody that can handle things like that as well as I do and take it in great stride and watch it with great excitement.
Oh, no.
Even there are some things that are just even too much for me.
It was a little too much.
Within the first 2 minutes, this girl, of course, a guy washes up on an island. That's the premise of the show. But he's butt naked, and the young teen girl, face plants onto his wiener. I'm like, okay.
She's running. She's like running to him, like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, and this guy is definitely. He
looks
like he's definitely an adult. He looks like he's probably in his early 20s or so,
and she
maybe
looks
late teens, and she definitely looks like she's 14.
Okay, the horrifying.
And so I even let that slide. I was like, "What is?"
Really, you let that slide?
I let that slide. But there's a scene where she comes up missing or whatever, and he's wandering around because they're trying to get him off the island. There's something mysterious going on with this island.
Oh no.
And he's like wandering. He finds her hiding in a boat, and she's asleep in a little cupboard. And then he's about to kiss her while she's sleeping.
All right, that's really.
And he was like, "Am I supposed to do it right here?
No, that's fucked up.
Is this what I'm supposed to do?"
That.
Yeah,
that's not how consent
and
works.
he gets real close. Of course, that's the whole like.
And then
her
she like
eyes
woke
pop
up,
open. Yeah, and she's
she's
like, "What are you trying to do, you
"What?"
pervert?" And I was like, "You know what? I think I don't want to watch this.
I think I'm out." Yeah, that sounds like something I would not be able to watch at all.
I was like, this is a little tidbit on the rabies side.
Yeah, not into it. Jesus, that sounds awful, but
But I got one glimpse of the girl with the poofy hair.
That's all you wanted.
And I guess that's all I wanted. She didn't even have a single line yet, but I could not make it.
She just showed up, and you're like, you know what? That's good enough.
Yeah,
I don't need any more of this.
Yeah. And of course, the new episode of My Hero Academia.
It was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I loved it.
You got to see Homeboy with his wind powers. He's whipping all the ass.
And we got some My Hero Academia announcements coming up at the end of the podcast, so stay tuned for that.
Oh, snap. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds good, man.
What you been watching, big guy?
I've been watching a few things. Watched new MHA. Caught up. Watched another episode of that Cells at Work, which was really great. Mommy showed up in that one. That's fun.
Dude, I do need to watch that.
That show's fun.
I should have done that instead of Island.
Did I ever tell you about that one? So
Cells at Work?
No. So some friends of mine I used to talk to online. We don't really talk anymore because this was years ago. We were, internet friends. You lose them, you gain them, whatever.
On Guy Online?
Yeah, don't fuck with me, man. It was a while ago. But we would talk about like shows and shit, and one of them, it was this girl, and she would always do the ooh oh daddy thing whenever we talked about like a buff dude. She was really into buff dude, and she would always call him daddy. So the rest of us started saying, on the very rare occasion that a buff lady shows up, we'd say ooh mommy. So that's what that is. This newest episode, Cells at Work, mommy showed up.
Oh god!
A character came in, and I was like, "Oh damn, Mama's home." This homegirl. I mean, she looks like a slight. They always these anime characters always look relatively thin. She is a natural killer cell, and she has big old buff arms, and oh my god, she whips so much.
Is it like oh god, I can't remember his name from Recovery of a MMO Junkie.
No, not like that. No, because that's the thing. So that's the thing with these shows is like very often it's one thing. Okay, this show has a bunch of cute girls. Okay, fine. This show has a bunch of cute girls and they whip ass. They're very strong. Okay, fine. This show has a bunch of cute girls and also they actually draw them strong. That doesn't happen often enough. And when it does, it's like MMO Junkie where it's like, oh, this is for comedic effect. Like that's the joke is that she's super buff.
Yeah.
This lady, like she looks like relatively average, like simple, hot anime girl, but she's got big ass arms, and I'm like, yeah. That's great. I'm into that. It's a good time. But yeah, she showed up. She whipped a lot of ass. Next episode is probably going to be crazy. Without any spoilers, it's like kind of a part 1, part 2 thing. The end of this one, you find out what they're like going up against, this thing that is invading the body. Like, oh, it's like they had an episode about the flu and there's a bunch of flu cells. They had an episode about this thing, there's a bunch of those cells. This one is like oh damn, they're actually going there with this one. It's like, oh, that seems like the kind of thing you don't beat.
Oh.
Do you want to take a guess?
Probably cancer.
It's cancer. There's a cancer cell. And I'm like, oh, okay, cute show about cells. What the fuck? But that's been watching that. Also finally started watching that Michiko and Hatchin show, which is pretty sweet. Pretty rad. That first episode was kind of hard to get into because, man, oh man, you basically are seeing this
girl planted in dude's wiener.
No, nobody plants in anyone's wiener. You do see this girl who's living in, like, she's basically doing the Cinderella thing, wicked stepmother, stepfather, and step siblings who literally just spend all their time shitting on this girl. It's pretty tough to watch for a little while, but then Michiko, the main, like, older lady, the older girl in the show, shows up, like, drives through the fucking house on her motorcycles, like, hop on. It's like, well, hell yeah, this is gonna be good. So that's a pretty fun show. I'm like 5 episodes in. Episode 3 was also kind of a massive bummer, but yeah, it's pretty sweet. More about that, I guess, when I finish it. But yes, I do want to talk about this last episode of Hanibado because that show is entirely my shit, I think is what I told you in the text message.
Probably. It was a very long text.
It's so good.
I think I'd actually started the show when you texted me that, so I was getting kind of like mild spoilers as I was starting the show.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay, you didn't know.
It's just so fucking good. Like that last episode, okay, spoilers for episode 7 if anyone's actually going to watch this. I already spoiled some stuff in the last episode, but tried to keep it relatively vague. But I guess skip ahead like a minute and a half if you don't want to hear about this show. But it's fucking amazing. Like, they literally, Hanasaki is like the girl who was basically abandoned by her mom, who has been shit on by all these people. This girl fancies herself her rival, and she's like, I'm gonna beat you, I have to beat you. The whole time it just seems Hanasaki, like the whole time is just like,
this girl had a cold, and she
had a competition, she had a match against Hanasaki with the mom who was famous. The girl she's facing with the pink hair has a cold, and she wants to fight her on even footing to prove that she can beat her. So she grabs her, ducks her into like a closet somewhere, and just curls up next to her and starts coughing in her face until she also gets sick. And that's how she does end up beating her. Which is like, this is fucked up. Why do you take this so seriously? Hanasaki does not. She's that good at the game. She doesn't really take it that seriously for the most part, particularly now after all this shit's gone down. But she's got all these people just shitting on her, giving her garbage. They want to beat her. Oh, I got to beat you. She's like, I just want to live. And then in this episode, she basically just says, okay, fuck it. If you want to make me the villain, I'll be your goddamn villain.
Yeah,
she goes straight up psycho, bro.
I'm not gonna lose. What's the point of playing if you're gonna lose?
It's amazing. And on the one hand, you're like,
they draw our eyes differently.
Yes,
too.
yes. She has that blank stare. Like I told you before, she's got like this blank stare. Like her pupils are huge and like the flat colors, and she looks like she's just like looks
it's like green on dark green.
Forgive me for lack of a better word. She looks like a crazy person. She looks out of her mind,
like possessed almost.
Yes, like she is broken. She is a broken person. And there's like a bit where pink hair girl, she's facing pink hair girl in this episode who fucked with her before real bad, and pink hair girl is like, oh, here's a tissue, you might need this when I beat you so bad, and you start crying. She's like, okay, no, I'm gonna destroy you. And then they're on the floor. She does in fact destroy her. And then pink hair girl's like literally laying there because that last shot she had to dive for it, and she didn't end up getting the shot over the net. She's laying there, and you can see she's about to start crying, and she looks up, and Hanasaki's just like holding the tissue out to her, like, you need this? It was pretty great. You want a villain? You got a fucking villain. They literally made her the bad guy. It's so goddamn good. I love this show.
But she still like doesn't feel like the bad guy.
Oh, you're out of your mind. She is absolutely the villain. That's the thing.
I didn't feel that way.
Like, it feels like the kind of thing where her friends and everything are gonna pull her out of that.
Yes, of course.
But like, that's the thing, is that they literally, like, she is a villain right now. She really is. Like, they messed with her. Like, they pushed her so far.
Treating her still like shit. She's ducked into this mode where she's, like, I guess villainous.
Yeah,
I would say.
She's villainous. Yes, but like that's the whole thing. Is like on the one hand you're like, but you're the good guy. You're not supposed to sink to their level. You're not supposed to do that shit. And on the other hand, I'm sitting there like, hell yeah, tell them bitches who. Like fuck them. Get that shit, girl.
Yeah.
Like she's whipping ass, and like at the end of it, she's like talking to her friend, her bestest best friend from when she was a little kid, and her bestest best friend tells her, she tells her best friend, she says something like, wow, she was really pathetic, huh? And her friend tells her, hey, you can respect your opponent, and she's just like, whatever, all that matters is winning.
Yeah.
Like they made her the fucking villain.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, that was a line where she's like, what's the point of playing badminton if you're not gonna win?
Yeah. It's good shit, man. I really
and I do have to admit that sometimes I find myself not getting as sucked into it as I probably should because it's badminton, dude.
I mean, it is goofy, but okay, as with anything, if you do it right, you can make it interesting.
Yeah,
and the way they do it, where they're like, it looks like some fucking Dragon Ball Z shit, where like they're hitting the thing, it's like flying back and forth real fast. I keep having that separation
of where I'm trying to figure out in what universe do people care about badminton this much.
I did look up
it's like a sea-level Olympic sport.
Oh, whatever. I looked up some fucking look up some badminton trick shots on YouTube. Like there's some compilations that are pretty badass. There's cool shit. Don't get me wrong. It is goofy tennis. No one calls it goofy tennis more than me. It is a compelling story, and I'm into it.
Slap a couple of cocks around, dude.
Shuttlecocks, yeah. And then next episode, Aragaki apparently is going to take on this other girl who whipped up on her bestest best friend a couple episodes ago. So looks like it's going to be good shit. But that's enough about the Hanebado Love Fest corner.
Yeah. What are we watching today, buddy?
Today we're going over the final 4 episodes of this first series of the newest version, I guess, of Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
De Neue. The Neue.
You've been really working on that one, huh?
I sure have.
You've been listening to that voice at the end of every episode.
Every single time. And I will tell you, since we're closing out, I really am going to miss listening to Binary Star.
It's a cool song.
It really is.
It's a really cool song. You got to pull it up every now and then on the YouTube and be like,
I'm going to have to put it on a playlist.
There's a version on Spotify. I played it for you, but it's like not the real one. It's a dude covering it, and it's not bad. He does have that voice like he's from Simple Plan. Like he sings through his nose. He sings through his nose the whole time. Yeah. Like the song is like a lady.
Binary.
That's what it sounds like. The actual song is the lady. She starts an adorable star, and he's like an adorable star. Like that's what he sounds like.
That's pretty good, dude. You freaking nailed it.
That's kind of what he sounds like. It's not bad. It's just like that style of singing. Like okay, enough. Now it feels like we're talking shit on this guy.
I am talking a little bit of shit on him.
Don't talk shit on him.
It ain't that good.
No, I think it's a good cover. I just think that like his style of singing doesn't really suit that kind of song.
I'm sorry,
I can't be perfect. All right, I feel bad now.
You sound like a kazoo, dude.
To dude on Spotify who's covering these cool anime songs, I love you, and I'm sorry it sounded like I was talking shit. I love you. All right, but we are getting right into it. We are on episode 9.
Each person's star.
That is the name of the episode.
It sure is.
This is a pretty good one. I like this one.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Siri thought you needed something.
Yeah. Thank you, Siri.
This fucking guy.
I don't need anything.
Nope. You can't just say it.
Just keep your ass over there.
All right.
Trying to hijack my show.
But yeah, this one starts with a pretty quick little bit where you see Jessica and some of her students. She's apparently quitting her job teaching music and whatnot.
She's putting down that Stradivarius.
She's letting it go, man. She's got to put it down. She's on the roof for a bit. She as she's standing there, she gets out her wallet and she pulls out that picture that her and Yang and Jean took on the roof, which is really cool. She still has that. And then she ends up at Yang's house, and she seems a bit surprised when Julian answers the door. And then we roll credits. We don't see what happens after that, but we find out a little bit later. Back from the credits, the Free Planet Alliance Central Government Building, we have a meeting of the High Council. These are the politicians, the High Council. In there, Joan Labello, who is the financial secretary, is talking about how the war has become too expensive. There's a budget crisis. He says we need to begin peace talks. No one else seems interested. Everybody's saying, well, no, come on, we've got this. This is our, what do they say? Our noble purpose to bring freedom to the people of the Imperial Empire. We have to stop them and blah, blah, blah. It's like, all right, y'all sound like some fucking Imperials right now.
Yeah, you're learning a whole lot is wrong up in this place.
Yeah, and it really sounds like they are. In fact, Yang said before, well, unless they do something stupid like try to, counter invasion. That's exactly where this shit going.
Yeah.
We then see Yang at home. He's getting dressed. He tucks a letter into his jacket. We know he was planning on resigning after the capture of Yishalon, and we know that's what he plans to do. He tells Julian as he's leaving to meet him at headquarters after school. After he gets out of school, he wants to take him out for dinner to discuss something.
They're going to TGI Fridays, man.
No, they don't. And then we see Yang talking to Satole, giving him his letter of resignation, and Satole,
your buddy Sithole,
my good buddy Sithole, he doesn't exactly accept his resignation. He says we need your tactical brilliance. And particularly since the High Council is now considering an invading the Empire, and Yang's like, oh god damn it, oh god damn it, like he knew, we all knew, bunch of assholes, they weren't gonna let that go. But apparently, he says apparently a young officer from planning has a plan. He's from planning and he's got a plan, and he brought it to the committee. We find out who that guy is in a minute, and boy, oh boy,
I hate him.
I hate him more than anybody. He's the worst one. He's the worst freaking one. But Young still wants out. Satole asks him, well, if you do leave, then what's going to happen to your new fleet? What happens to the 13th? And that stops him for a second. But then we cut back to the High Council, and we see Huang Lewis, who is the Secretary of Human Resources, who wants to have reserve soldiers put back into the private sector. He's talking about how a lot of the people who are working in the countries, government jobs, everything, they aren't as well trained. They're working, but they're not as well trained because everybody who's well trained is going off to war and either staying out there or dying, and stuff's not getting done back here. We've got this foothold at Easterlone. We need to keep that. They can't invade us now. We need to come back and rebuild. And no one's biting. Some do agree, but most of them don't see it, such as Secretary of Transportation Cornelia Windsor. It's just a real jerk, and she talks about how the continued need for sacrifice, and again she says their great and noble purpose. She talks about how they need to crush the earth and bring freedom to all these people. It's like we're gonna bring them freedom with bombs and shit. It'll be great.
She didn't want to bring freedom. We find out what she wants here in a second.
Yeah. We also see Royal Sanford. It just has a great name. Royal Sanford.
Royal Sanford.
Jesus Christ. He's the High Council chairman who shows their approval ratings. 31% approval rating, 56% disapproval. I guess the remaining percentages are just like, man, I don't give a shit. But he suggests that a victory over the Empire within these next 100 days is going to guarantee re-election, and everybody's like, oh yes, that sounds great. Joan Labello, the guy from before, says, are you freaking kidding me? You can't issue military orders just to keep your power. You can't do this. This is horrible. This is the wrong way to do things. You're gonna get, there's no reason for this other than to just keep your stupid positions. Are you kidding? And everybody's like, yeah, but my position. So they put it to a vote, 8-3. Huang and Joan, who we already saw arguing against this, and
Huang.
Job Trunick to the
and this
the guy from before.
Too. You ever heard the saying fox in the hen house?
Yeah, he's one of them.
He was a hen in the fox house, dude.
Yeah, dude. He's Job is voting against, but he's obviously pleased that the vote passed, but he does want everyone to know. I just want it to be clear.
I did vote against it. That's not the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, this is the dude who Jessica told off at the big memorial
he voted
thing.
for it, and then he was like, just tell everybody that I voted against it.
Yeah, no, he did vote against it, but he knew it was going to pass anyway. That was his point.
Oh, okay.
He wants everyone to think that, I didn't ask for this. They want to go off to war. There's nothing I can do. It was put to a vote. I did go against it, though. Like, he's one of those guys. He's trying to make it look like he actually gives a shit when, no, he knows what he's getting and he knows what he wants.
This shit's getting a little too close to home, man.
It's pretty bad, man. He's obviously pleased, wants the record to show that he did vote against the proposal. Meanwhile, Yang Schunkampf again in the elevator, who tells him that Schunkampf has figured out that Yang did in fact come here to try and resign. He says, well, they're not going to let you go. And he says, honestly, I kind of hope you'll stay. You're too good at your job, he says. And he goes on to tell him that, despite appearing so reckless and acting like a real badass and whatnot, he has no intention of dying in the military. He wants to live to about 150, he says, and die an old man in his bed surrounded by his family. And he looks at Yang and he says, you think you can help me get that? Because he knows if he's under anybody else, he's probably going to end up dead. So then Yang and Julian...
I start fearing for my boys right around this point.
It's going to be bad, man. Yang and Julian then they meet up. They go to get some lunch. They end up at the March Rabbit, which is not... It's a March hare. Matt is a March hare is the term. But they call it the March Rabbit. Okay, fine. Whatever.
It's Cheddar's.
It's Cheddar's. It's a fake Cheddar's. It's a little fancier than Cheddar's.
They're getting a little spinach dip.
You get them a what's that fucking sandwich they have there that you dip in the sauce? I can't remember.
French dip?
No, it's that ridiculous sandwich. It's like a ham sandwich and ham and turkey deep fried, and then they give you like the cranberry sauce to dip in. I forget what it's called. I call it the fucking heart attack because
it's not like a Thanksgiving sandwich or something.
No, it's some ridiculous shit. I can't remember. It's someone screaming at their iPod right now, like it's called this, but nobody has an iPod anymore.
Yeah,
they got their iPhone.
They're yelling at their Zune. Their special edition Halo 3 Zune. Which if anybody has one of those and wants to give it to your good buddy, send it this way. I will happily use that Zune.
Talk about the Zune some more. It's gonna bug me that I can't remember the name of the sandwich. I gotta Google
it. This Zune is dope. It is a Halo 3 limited edition Zune. And I always wanted one. I never got one. And every now and then I see it pop up and I remember, oh yeah, I need to get that Zune. I don't know how much that Zune costs, so I never get around to looking it up. So while Brandon's looking this up,
are you looking up your other thing?
I'm going to look up the Halo 3 Zune.
This is stupid. I can't keep trying to find the sandwich. It's not stupid, dude. Halo
3 Zune. Somebody's yelling at their Halo 3 Zune, and I'm about to know how much the Zune is worth. All right, we don't want to see normal listings. We want to go to sold. So tip on eBay. If this were the how to use eBay for pricing podcast, never use the first
Monte Cristo. That's what it's called. Monte Cristo. It will kill you. It will kill you.
Holy shit! This Zune is going for like $200 fucking.
This is the worst use of podcast time we've ever.
You can find some
How cool is this
untested ones? Untested ones
Let me see how cool it is.
For about $100.
It can't be that cool.
Let me see. Let me find a good one. There we go.
It's just a brown Zune, kids.
Let's get these pictures up.
That's just a brown Zune.
There's more.
It's just a plain old fucking Zune. Who gives a shit?
What kind of monster just puts one picture up on eBay?
What are they listening to right there? What's playing?
Country. They're listening to
the best of Marty Robbins.
Yeah, there's a song called "It Matters to Me" and "Fly."
Fly from the album "It Matters to Me." I don't know.
Yeah,
this is not what the show's about, Roger.
Well, you were looking up a Monte Cristo.
I was looking up this ridiculous sandwich, and I'm sorry.
You were looking up a sandwich, dude.
Let me look up my Zune.
A delicious sandwich.
All right, you look up that Zune. I'm going to talk to the good buddies. How y'all feeling, man?
Here you go, dude. Here's a better look at this Zune.
Y'all doing anything this weekend?
Somebody's yelling at the Zune right now. I just know they're like, stop talking about my goddamn Zune.
Okay, so this one's like a blue. It looks like a Zune if you know what a Zune looks like. If you don't, I don't blame you. Nobody does. It's got a little Halo 3 logo on the bottom of it.
Yeah, and the back is like all Master Chief green.
It looks dumb as hell, man.
I want it, dude.
Well, I hope you get it
one
like
day, man.
Things
like that. Yep.
Foolish. Anyway, let's get back to the show that we've talked about our sandwiches and Zunes. God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Good Buddies Universe. I'm sorry I let us go off on that. Anyway, they're trying to get a table at the March Rabbit. It's full up. They are, however, saved by Lieutenant Greenhill, who walks over. She's there with her father, Admiral Greenhill, and he has invited them to join them. So they do, and they sit down with the two Greenhills, and they have a little meal. Julian is apparently not only excelling in school but also at something called flyball. He's a little sports boy, and the Greenhills are sitting there like, oh man, you're doing so great, I've heard all about this. And Yang's just like, what? Because of course he doesn't know what's going on in this kid's life, even though he's his guardian. Of course he doesn't. Jesus, Young, get your shit together. Why is your computer beeping?
It's Facebook is open on it over there.
All right. So they also talk for a bit about the capture of Easterlone, how it's divided the alliance. There's a lot of people who are in favor of continuing the war, and they're actually becoming a bit violent. To which Yang says, "Oh, you mean the Patriotic Night Corps?" And Admiral Greenhill just gives him those assholes. Come on, they're just a bunch of jerks. If I could, I'd stomp them out. These bunch of jerks. He's talking shit on him, and Yang kind of smiles at that, knowing, okay, this guy's all right. We then cut back to the Dominion of Fazan, and we see Dominique St. Pierre, who's getting dressed while the Fazan leader, Adrian Rubinsky, discusses his government's investments in the Empire and the Alliance. So Dominique St. Pierre is apparently some kind of performer. She goes off to do a show or something and in a second, and Rubinsky's like, you don't have to do that. And she's like, yeah, but I like having my freedom. And it's like, okay, cool. She's also like, just a fairly stereotypical super hot blonde. Is what she looks like. Adrian Rubinsky, I don't know if we properly described this guy, looks like Lex Luthor. With a bit of a beard.
Yeah, and I mean,
he's a little tanner skinned than everyone else. He has red eyes. He looks like Ishbal and Lex Luthor.
Yeah. So, and also this girl, God, what was her name again? One more time.
Dominique St. Pierre.
She looks like a spy if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, so, you think so?
Yeah.
She's a typical femme fatale.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah,
Nikita, dude.
Apparently, Rubinsky here has been investing in the Empire and the Alliance, and while he says while they're blasting each other away in space, Fazan has quietly taken control of nearly all the money. They have pretty much all their war bonds, and they are poised to rule the universe financially, unlike the Empire, who wants to rule it, by force, and the Alliance, who says they just want to bring freedom everywhere, but as we're seeing, they actually just want to stay in power and eventually rule everything, because what a bunch of assholes.
Yeah.
Damn governments. Anyway, Dominique also here's exactly what I wrote down here. He says that they're poised to take over, and Dominique says yes, as long as another Rudolph doesn't show up. And when she mentions another Rudolph and a new galactic empire, I wrote down, here's my exact words: this Lex Luthor looking motherfucker pops a chubby. He's kind of like, a new galactic empire, eh? Like he's horny for that. He obviously just had the thought, ooh, I could run shit. And that's kind of where he's looking. Back with Yang, the group says their goodbyes. Admiral Greenhill asks Yang, hey Yang, have you thought about settling down and getting married? And his daughter's like, oh god damn it, and she like blushes a little bit. She obviously has a thing for Yang. Yang says maybe when there's peace, we'll maybe once all this is over. It's not gonna be over, Yang. It's not gonna be over. We then see Yang and Julian taking a ride home in one of their future Ubers. Jessica has apparently won a representative election and is a strong anti-war proponent. Julian, as they're watching this in the car, recognizes her from about a month ago. He says she showed up, didn't say much, but talked about.
Yeah, I believe it's the first thing you see in the episode.
It's now like it's
or
that
was
meeting.
it at the end of the last episode where she knocked on the door? It's somewhere in there.
No, it was at the beginning of this one. But anyway, he says he recognizes her, and Yang's like, what? And then the car stops, some kind of traffic error. Yang and Julian decide they're going to walk. And on the way, Yang asks about Jessica. Apparently, she left no message, but seemed happy, and asked Julian to take care of Yang. As they're walking, they're looking up at the night sky. It's beautiful, all these stars. It's really pretty looking. You can see them from everywhere. And I'm like, y'all are in the city. I see street lights. There's no way you can see all them fucking stars. You lying TV show. Anyway.
It's light pollution.
Light pollution. That ain't happening. You ain't see no stars. And they ain't that pretty. Ain't that friggin' pretty. But as they're walking, Julian says that he noticed for a second him and Yang were looking at the same star. And Yang says, you don't have to look at the same star as me. Which is kind of a goofy way of saying you can make your own decisions. You don't have to join the military like I did. He clearly, like we said before, he doesn't want this kid to join the military. He's kind of telling him, you can do your own thing, man. I know I'm awesome, but come on. Anyway, we then see Jessica giving a speech. As she, as we already said, she's become a representative or something.
This is about time that I texted you, and I was like,
he was texting me saying this girl's about to get popped.
Yeah, she's about to get a cat blasting in her.
Oh no!
I could feel it coming. Did it
she
happen?
Says, no, it did not. She's saying that she won't be silent. She says that history is being made right now, and she talks for a little while, and she reiterates she says to the people in power, I ask, where are you? And she,
where the fuck are you?
Why don't presidents fight the war? Why do they always try to vote? That's great. But she also says, and what are you doing to help? Which I thought was very good. That's episode 9, and we're on to episode 10.
Episode 10.
We would have spent half as much time on that if we weren't looking up sandwiches and Zunes. God damn it. I feel bad.
Oh, man. What other podcast said they took time to go look up a Zune and a sandwich called a Monte Cristo?
Monte Cristo. That thing will fuck you up, dude.
I wouldn't eat it, dude. I wouldn't know.
Swear to God. A friend of mine said that her dad, they used to go there all the time, and one day her dad got a Monte Cristo, ate that whole thing. It's a deep-fried ham, turkey, and cheese sandwich that you dip in this freaking cranberry or some kind of berry sauce. It's basically a dessert sandwich. And this fool, as they were driving home, he had to pull over because he was having palpitations. I'm like, y'all, just don't eat the sandwich.
Yeah, dude, talking about the sandwich some more. There's our theme. I found our theme. It is that sandwich, that deep fried sandwich.
Listen, I've had a bite. It's delicious. It will kill you. Anyway, we're on to episode 10. What's episode 10 called?
Oh, it's called Interlude.
Interlude. Yes, excellent. All right. So I'm going to set the stage here. And I think me and Roger are just going to go off for about 10 minutes. So be prepared.
Get ready for this.
So this one starts on Fazan. Rubinsky is discussing the Alliance's plans to invade. Because when we saw earlier with the High Council, they have decided to invade. They're going to do a counter invasion. Rubinsky's discussing those plans with the Empire's High Commissioner Jochen von Rinnescheid. And he is shocked when he hears that apparently 30 million troops are heading their way. And now I'm going to close my notes. And we about to talk some mad shit because this motherfucker's hair.
It looks like
the first thing you texted me was that he looks like our Dorothy from Big O.
It looks like him and Dorothy go to the same hairstylist.
This fool has like a crop top bowl cut with the straight bangs across the front.
A bob cut.
A bob cut, yes. A bobbed like bowl cut with the bangs across the front. I can't deal with this shit. He looks like he's got an albino watermelon on his head.
He looks like Prince Adam is singing "What's Going On."
He looks like somebody chromed up a coconut and just stuck it on him, man.
He looks like Weevil Underwood grew up.
He's got that Sia hair, man. He looks like Sia. He looks like he's about to swing from the chandelier.
He looks like if somebody took Magneto's helmet and stretched it out a little bit.
and then just spray painted it silver. He's got this bone straight, bone white hair. He's wearing his skull on the outside. I hate him, Roger. I hate him so much.
He looks like a fucked up June bug, man. Dude, he looks like he looks like the outline of maybe God, what did I say? Somebody's like, hey, we need to redesign this character. Bring me some ink. I'm about to mushroom stamp this paper.
And that's what it is too. Because like I looked up what this character looked like in the original series, and I feel like they had to change it because he looked too much like Tywin Lannister. For anybody that watches Game of Thrones, he looks like the Lannister dad in the original series. Here, he looks like that, but wearing a Sia wig, like he's free to be the greatest. Like he looks ridiculous. Yeah. He looks so goddamn stupid. He's got thick skin and an elastic heart. I hate him.
He looks like if Cher decided to go with a silver look, that might be a wig that she would wear.
It's the worst, man. It's really bad. It's really
Discount Cleopatra looking.
If you've ever seen Closer, that scene where homegirl is like where dude goes to the strip club and sees homegirl and she's got that pink she's got that pink wig, or maybe another way of saying that same hairstyle. She looks like the girl. He looks like the girl from that Lazy Town show with the pink hair, but like just dye that silver. That's what he's got going on. He looks absolutely absurd. I hate him.
He looks like somebody ripped Tom Brady's face mask off.
Like in the wide shot, I thought he was wearing a helmet, and then he zoomed in, and I was like, "Oh goddamn, that's all him, huh?"
Somebody removed Darth Vader's breathing apparatus
and just dumped some white out on him. He looks like white Darth Vader without the face part. Oh my
like
god,
the
it's
ghost
horrible.
of Calvin Past, dude.
It's so bad.
Oh my god,
it's so bad.
It is freaking awful.
He's like, if you like those pictures where like in a cartoon, if a chick hatches out of an egg and the shell's still on its head, that's what he's got going on. Holy shit, I hate this man.
Oh my god, dude.
All right.
Oh,
Have we gone on long enough?
I think so, dude.
I think we hit all the good jokes.
I think my favorites there were the albino watermelon. That one's a classic. And my new one that I come up, he looks like a grown-up Weevil Underwood. Now, if you don't remember who Weevil Underwood is,
oh no, did you pull it up?
You remember this character from Yu-Gi-Oh?
Wow, that's the kid who tore up the Exodia, right?
Yeah, he's the bug kid.
The bug kid. What an asshole.
All right, man. We are good.
We're back. We're going back into it. Good Buddies universe. Leave us a. He does look like He-Man. He looks like Prince Adam. He looks like Prince Adam, an old Prince Adam. All right, leave us a comment somewhere if you want to tell us what else this fucker looks like. When you put this on YouTube, can you just take a picture of that fool and put it up for that
I can.
2-minute stretch?
I sure can.
That fool looks so stupid. All right. Anyway, we're going back into it. 30 million troops are apparently heading their way. Bullcut leaves. Rubinsky talks about how apparently he gets off on using lives as chips in his games. He's playing. It's all a game to him, and he's playing to win, and he's apparently winning right now. And he says that he needs Reinhardt to win this next move, but not by too much because he needs them to keep fighting. Meanwhile, back on Odin, we see Lichtenlade, who again is the acting, what was it, chief of something? I don't remember. There's too many names and too many positions to keep in mind. But Lichtenlade, Mr. Lemonade from a couple episodes ago. He's
a couple episodes of what?
A couple episodes ago. He apparently has received the intel. He knows this attack is going to be serious, but he also knows that they need a victory now more than any other time. The Minister of Finance, Mr. Gerlach, suggests that obviously that blonde brat wants to do it. Let's send Reinhardt. Lichtenlade sees it as a lose-lose situation, which is interesting because before when he was talking about stuff, he was saying it's a win-win. If that guy wins, then we got him in our pocket. If he loses, then we got more power to mess with him. He says, no, this one's a lose-lose. If Reinhardt wins, then we have less control over him. If he loses, then we have to face the Alliance on our own in a bad situation. And it's like, well, damn, dude, you just can't win for shitting, can you? Anyway, back at the Alliance operations, the admirals, of course led by Satole, are now forming their expeditionary force and naming the fleets in their command in their combat force. Lobos. Admiral Lobos is apparently going to be the guy running the whole show, whereas many of the other admirals, including Bucock, Admiral Greenhill, and of course Yang, are going to be running the fleets that are actually going to be out there attacking. Yang is in fact there. He has not resigned. His resignation was not accepted. And sure enough, more than 30 million troops are going to be moving out. We then see a brief scene of Yang back at home where he's sitting there eating some soup or something, and he's regretful. He feels like he figured that his capture of Iserlohn would make things easier so that he could get out, but in fact, it's only emboldened everybody to keep going and push on through into this counter invasion. He said that it made victory look easy. And now the cry for war is increased. They think it's just so simple to run in there and do these things. They don't know that they were all that close to just being annihilated and nothing would have changed. Instead, they pulled it off, and now everyone's like, well, hell yeah, let's keep going. Woo! And there you go. After that brief flashback, we're back in the operations meeting, and Sitole turns the conversation to their plan of attack. And we meet the person, maybe the only person I hate more than that ridiculous bowl cut boy, Commodore Andrew Falk.
Oh, he's the freaking worst, dude.
I hate him so. I hate him.
Absolute worst.
He's the worst person.
And he's one of those characters. You remember when we were watching, Agretzko?
Yeah.
And I was like, all these characters are relatable and you know this person. Mm-hmm. This is definitely a guy that somebody knows out there that you've met at least once in your life.
Yeah, man.
He's the biggest shithead.
He's just a jackass. This guy talks a lot of shit, and he gets all up in Yang's face about a couple things. And the whole time I'm watching this, I'm like, Yang, you're the one who's pulling all the big wins. Just like whip your dick out and let it swang a little bit, man. Tell him who you are. But he doesn't do it because Yang's trying to be, respectful and trying to be nice. When in fact, this fool needs to get dick slapped a couple times. He needs somebody to show him that, hey, you talk a big game, but you ain't doing nothing. We're the ones doing it. We see that scene later, and it's fucking glorious. Anyway, here he starts by saying it's an honor to participate in this. His plan, however, appears to be to just walk in and say, hey, here we are, because they pretty much are just going to launch just a corridor attack, just going straight on through, hitting these planets, liberating them, quote unquote, bringing them the freedom as there's their great, burden to bring freedom to these people, is what they keep saying. This guy sounds real empirical when he talks. But apparently that's the plan, is just to move on through, capture the shit, and then move right on to Easterlone. Or not to Easterlone, from Easterlone to Odin, and just capture everything. And Yang, of course, is just saying, listen, this isn't going to work. If we're that spread out, it's going to be way too easy to attack us. And, of course, this Falk guy's just like, we're covering the whole sector. If they try to attack any of us, then we'll just swoop in and crush them. It's baby stuff. Come on. I got this. You don't got shit. He ain't going to do nothing. He says if the enemy's foolish enough to try to get into their formation, they'll be pincered. Kazern, of course, jumps in, points out, well, listen, you don't win wars without supplies, and we have a lack of provisions here. We can't just keep doing this. We can't just keep running out there. And Lobos tells him, well, then you just secure supplies on sites on the planets where you go to. And he's like, that's a really poor plan of action. What if they don't have anything? What if we can't gain any supplies there? And he says, well, you're the supply guy. Figure it out. It's your job. It's like, all right, that's great planning. It's like a real shitty manager. I know a few people like him, too.
Damn it, dude. It's going to take me forever to find a picture of this guy.
I'm
just gonna have to hop on and take a screenshot.
Oh, dude, I already got one. I sent you one earlier. I'll grab you another one.
Of the actual haircut?
Yeah, that was the one I sent you.
That was his original one, I thought.
No, I sent you one earlier today.
And then you're right. You did. You did. I'm sorry. I had a bad headache today.
Roger, come on.
Sorry, man. I've been over here looking for a picture like
get your head in the game. Get your head in the game. Anyway, Kazern points out lack of precisions. We already went over that. Yang then points out that Lohengrin will likely be leading this counterattack, so they need a more cautious plan. And Falk says overestimating the enemy is the greatest disgrace. We're not gonna worry about. We can't worry about being fearful of these guys. We're the ones in control. We're gonna run in and handle it, which is easy to say when you're not in the goddamn ship.
Yeah. And guess who ain't gonna be in the ship?
This guy's a real asshole, and I hate him. You're supposed to hate him, so good writing, I guess. But yeah, he seems like a real douche face. Anyway, he claims that when they come to liberate the people, the Empire citizens are going to welcome them with open arms. They're gonna love us. We're there to free them. And Yang says that is speculation. Falk called his plan. Yang, he said that he was being speculative, saying that they need to be more cautious. He says, no, that's speculation, motherfucker. These people, we don't know that they're gonna love us, that they're gonna welcome us with open arms.
And boy, do they not.
Yeah, no shit. Anyway, after this scene, we get a scene with just Sitole and Yang. Yang standing there with just Sitole, and they're talking for a bit.
Dude, okay, so at this point, I've seen Sitole a number of times, and he's literally the only character in the entire anime that I noticed with colored lips.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Usually when you're in a wide shot like that, they tend to, like, folks with paler skin, they tend to draw them without lip. Maybe you get an outline or something, but that's about it. There is a bit later on where Reinhardt's drinking his wine that you can see his lips up close, and they're a little bit pink. That's about it, but only in the very close up. But like Satolle, that's kind of a thing. That's why I said before they made him look like a fucking gollywog. Is that's a thing, like particularly with like, okay, if you look up pictures of actual black people, sometimes you'll have like lighter colored lips. Very rarely, like most of the time, it's the same color as their skin. So it's just a thing they do in animation sometimes, and it also like was a thing in minstrel shows and shit.
It would have looked just fine, just normal, keeping it all.
If you look up pictures of him in the original series, he looks better.
Yeah, that's two characters that look better in the original series.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them I think look cooler, but even there, he does have lighter colored lips than the rest of them. But yeah, it's weird.
And he still looks.
That's just what they do, better, man. Yeah. That's a thing with.
Yeah, I just want to note it because you had said it, and I started looking. And like,
that's why fucking Pokemon got in shit with Jinx. That's why
I can't find a single other son of a bitch with colored lips.
That's why everybody's looking sideways, and Mr. Popo's like, "Hold up, man."
They turned him blue for the kids, the kid dub of Kai.
Yeah, that's what they did.
But the uncut one, he's still black.
That's the same thing they did with Jinx and Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy! All right. Anyway, Satolle's talking to Yang. Satolle and Yang are talking by themselves, and Satolle tells Yang that he's caused him a lot of trouble at this point. He says, and Satolle actually says he knows he shouldn't be saying it, but at this point, the best they can hope for is to lose with minimal casualties. And he also tells Yang that Falk sees him as some kind of rival. He sees Yang as a rival. Falk wants to be, a real badass. He wants to climb the ranks, and he sees this guy who keeps getting all the victories as a rival to him. And Yang's just sitting there like, I don't even know this asshole. Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
But he also says you can't trust him. Don't trust that guy. Since Falk sees Yang as a rival, Satolle needs Yang to oppose him, to actually fight this dude if you have to. We then cut back to Odin. Reinhardt's telling his admirals of the coming threat and how he's expecting his order soon. The other fleets are just ornaments of the palace, he says. The men in this room are going to be the ones who are responsible for defending their territory, and as such, they will see many opportunities for advancement. You just got to get in there, do your work. We're going to get this. He also says that they'll attack as soon as the rebels poke out of the corridor. He asked them for opinions. How should they attack? And some of them say, well, as soon as they come out of the corridor, we just beat them down and, blow them up. No problem. We just take them out immediately. If they can't come out, then they can't invade. Problem solved. And Reinhardt says, you know what? Great plan, good tactic. But if we do that, then if we, if we just beat them down and don't even let them leave the corridor, then the rest of them won't even come out. And then how are we going to take the offensive? And everyone's just like, what motherfucker? We're on defense. He's like, nah, son. I want to take these fuckers back. If they're dumb enough to come out, we're going to show them how dumb that is and beat the shit out of them. And he says the plan is we're going to let them come on in. We're going to let them go ahead and stretch on out. And when they see that they're all spread out and they're not able to effectively, control the areas that they've taken, we just run in and squish them. We take them all down. We just blow them all straight to hell. And as he continues, he then calls Oberstein up, who stands next to Lohengrin, and goes over the attack strategy. And we don't hear the rest of it. The VO comes in, but we see him giving the strategy. And then the voiceover, it says that on August 22nd, UC 796, Jesus Christ, these years, Iserlohn is officially made the Alliance's command center with 30 million soldiers assembling, and they set out. And that's episode 10. We're on to 11.
Ships rising, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like a Phil Collins song going off in there. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. All these ships are coming up.
Dumb.
You're like, oh, Lord.
Dumb.
All my homeboys about to get blown up.
Dumb.
These people
dumb
that I
what you
love,
said.
they about to get blown up. But you know it's true, dude.
Yeah, man. We're on to episode 11. What's it called?
We're on to episode 11. Hold on. Let me swap her over. The Verge of Death, Part 1.
Yep. So here we go.
Yep. See, and that song is ringing through, and then you see the next episode titled "The Verge of Death," Part 1.
That's when the drums come in. Have you? I can't hear that freaking song now without thinking of that. Have you seen that video where it's Vegeta like powering up while that song plays?
No, I haven't.
I'm gonna have to show you that. It's freaking great. He's just like standing there in the rain. It's like, and he does that, and like he powers up so hard that it's that scene where the clouds part and there's just sun over him, like as he's powering up. It's fucking great.
There's another one of that song. It's a dude working on Fallout 4. He's building this thing. There's generators everywhere, and the whole song plays up until that drum roll. As soon as it comes in, I can feel it coming. This dude has built a giant.
Oh, it's
dick.
The wiener that like spurts out the top. Yeah, I've seen that one. I've seen that because it's coming in the air tonight. Yes.
Yeah, there's little streams coming out.
It is in fact coming in the air tonight. You're the worst. It's just all dick jokes with you, huh?
But is it not funny?
It's pretty funny, but it's just all dick jokes, huh?
Anyway. Yes, man. I love the dick jokes.
Anyway,
love the dick jokes.
Episode 11, we see the 10th Fleet, commanded by Admiral Ulanhu, entering Imperial space. We also see on planet side these they have several planets that they've colonized and whatnot, and they have their people there, living in very feudalistic styles. They are literally wearing they look like they're about to break into some freaking Les Mis. Like they've got their little hats and vests. There's a woman like covered up like, "Why won't me baby take his milk?" She looks like one of them. It's like such stark contrast. The fact that these people are living in such a, this very, low class versus nobles kind of thing. And they look up and they see these ships streaking through the sky as they're coming in. And roll credits. We're back. The fleets find that the nobles have already fled, leaving over the common folk as they bring their message of freedom. The people say, "Hey, that's great and all. Like, thanks for the, governmental authority and shit, but we're real hungry. Yeah, my baby ain't even got milk. I can't even eat. You got any bread?" And it's like, yeah, okay, we'll give you food. And it's like, yeah, you're already fucked up. Like, they're living in squalor. The Alliance is not ready to provide any kind of aid and press their advantage. And it's just bad. Kazern gets word of all this. He already knew it. There's he's being told more than 50 million people. They need food for more than 50 million people. He can't feed twice the fucking Navy, and it's exactly what he was talking about before. He just can't. There's no way that they're going to be able to handle any of this. The higher ups don't care either. He goes to Falk and Admiral Lobos, and Falk again says that our fight is for the greater good and blah blah blah. And Kazern says, he knows that they're in trouble. And he knows that no one's actually going to give a shit. So, Jesus fuck. Back at the High Council, we see another vote being taken. This time for them to try and cease the operation because, holy crap, we weren't ready for this. We're already low on supplies, and all these people need food too. We can't handle it. And of course, it does not pass. The vote does not pass. This time they got 4 votes on the side to stop the operation, 5, I believe, to actually continue it, and a few actually abstained, didn't even bother voting. It's like, Jesus, we're so screwed. But yeah, on the front line, supplies are low. The admirals are told to procure supplies on planet, and of course they know there are no supplies. There, how can we, take supplies when there aren't any supplies? And we see Bucock, who has the quote, "A failed supply plan, the first step toward defeat." The Great Liberators, as they are called, are now apparently going to be forced to loot whatever they can in order to, keep their own operations going. Yang discusses the option of retreating. He knows the Empire will attack soon. He talks to Vice Admiral Alanhu, who agrees and is preparing to evacuate and get the hell on out of there. Yang and Alanhu tells him though, we're not going to be able to. Just the two of us, we're not going to convince anybody. He says, I'm going to call. Yang says he's going to call Bucock next because if anyone's going to convince the command center, it's him. As he says that, though, a call comes through. There's a revolt in the Eighth Fleet's occupation, and apparently mutual trust is becoming impossible. The people have turned on the Alliance. We actually see a brief scene where some of these soldiers are like being attacked by the people. So, you know, one guy's laying on the ground, another guy like is running away with his weapon, trying not to die.
They're gonna welcome us with open arms, they said.
Sure they will. He runs down an alleyway and is face to face with 3 kids. One of them's holding a gun to him, and they're all scared, and he's scared too. And right before it cuts to black, you see him like he looks scared, but then he pulls his rifle back up and takes aim, like he's actually gonna shoot these kids. It's fucked up, man. It's fucked up shit. This blows. Anyway, watching all this and getting all this information, Yang and the rest of his fleet are standing there, and he says to himself, the enemy got between us and the Empire's people. A smart but brutal strategy. And then to himself, he says, even if I knew it would bring us victory, I could never be this thorough. Well done indeed, Count Lohengrin, because he knows it was all his doing. And indeed it was. Lohengrin is sitting in his office, just sitting there like, yeah.
He says, I couldn't be this thorough.
He couldn't do all that. Yang, despite being as brilliant as he is, knowing that would be the way to do it, he couldn't bring himself to be so heartless. But Lohengrin, he's doing what he needs to win because he wants to win. Yang calls Bucock, who accepts Yang's proposal. Bucock, this is the scene, boy. This is the scene. Bucock makes a call to Lobos, back to High Command, which of course is on Easterlone. Falk answers. My exact words I wrote down: the little shit won't put him through. And they argue for a moment because Falk won't let Bucock talk to Lobos, the commander, and he says, "We need to pull out. We can't do this. We're gonna, we're falling back." And Falk says, I quote, "If I were in your shoes, I would never retreat." To which Bucock basically says, "All right, deal. Tag me out, little baby. You come on up here, you get in the ship, and I'll sit back there at command where nobody can
switch.
Yeah, I'm totally down for that." And freaking Falk, you see him like start to kind of shake. He's like, "Wait, what are you saying?" And he goes, "Listen, I'm just tired of hearing all your stupid speeches. If you want to demonstrate your talents, then do it by actually achieving something instead of relying on cheap talk." And he starts freaking out. He grabs his face as he's being told off.
Yeah, he is melting down.
He faints. I wrote down the little bitch faints. Now, this is fucked up. Apparently, so then Admiral Greenhill gets on, Lieutenant Greenhill's father, and he says, "Listen, apparently," he explains that apparently this guy suffers from seizures brought on by feelings of frustration or failure, and the doctors say that the only cure for it, the only way to make sure it, gets any better, is to make sure everything goes his way. To which Bucock says, "Jesus, 30 million soldiers have to stand in the jaws of death to appease one man-child's hysteria." Accurate.
Yeah.
The dude's a little asshole.
You should do a little bit of screening for your military stuff.
You maybe not let in the guy with the little man disorder who literally, if he doesn't get his way, will freak out and faint. Just fucked up. I'm not saying obviously there are actual mental disorders and shit, and obviously people suffer from seizures. Fuck this guy though. He's a jackass on top of that.
I don't know that this is a real condition
I can't imagine it may be.
I don't know that there's a real medical diagnosis that says, hey, just go ahead and give him everything he wants his way.
On the one hand, I absolutely hate that guy, and I hope the worst things happen to him. On the other hand, though, I'm watching this, and it feels like one of those Facebook videos that my shitty uncle would post and be like, "See these damn millennials fainting when they don't get their way." I'm like,
yeah,
God damn it,
probably
James.
all that goddamn avocado toast.
That's exactly what it is. Like, that's what it felt like watching this. I was like, all right, well, can we get to the next scene now?
Fucking millennials, dude.
Jesus, I hate old people. Anyway. Yeah, said it.
Hey, man. You know what they say.
Hey, we're good.
Dinosaurs will die.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Anyway.
One day we'll be dinosaurs, too, though.
I'm ready to go, man.
It's all true for everybody.
I'm ready to fucking go.
Yes, sir.
Anyway. Yeah. So this guy's just a shit show. Greenhill goes on to say that they can't retreat without approval, and command is unavailable. And he's like,
unavailable?
What do you mean unavailable? He says, well, he's taking a nap.
Yeah. And at this point, I'm like, you gotta be...
I wrote down, what the fuck?
This so stubby little Oompa Loompa son of a bitch.
He says he's resting, he's taking a nap, and they were ordered not to wake him unless the enemy attacks. Like, all right, cool. And Bucock's just sitting here.
Don't wake him until it's too fucking late.
Yeah, Bucock's just sitting here like, well, fuck all y'all shit. He says, listen, as the frontline commander, I must see to my troops' well-being. And he says, listen, Greenhill, pass on a message. He tell that fucker I hope he had pleasant dreams. I'm out. And he closes the line. And they're getting ready to retreat and get the fuck out of there before they get blasted straight to hell, because they know it's coming. They're stretched too thin. They are not in any position to actually form any kind of offensive, and they know the attack is coming. Back on Odin, this is a really good one. Lohengram orders Kirshais to attack the supply ships that will be coming from Easterlone so that they can't get any more supplies through. And then when Kirshais like kind of looks down, he says, okay, roger that, and he starts to leave, and he says, Kirshais, you don't like my plan. And he says, it's not that. And he says, listen, speak freely. You can say whatever you want. And he starts to talk, and he says, it's just that your plan. And then Reinhardt, even though he told him to speak freely, he then cuts him off and says, you don't agree with a strategy that puts the burden on the people. And Kirshais just kind of looks at him like, well, yeah. And he says, just remember, this is to win. And that's all he says. Uh-huh. And Kirshais, that's all he needed to hear. He gets it. He knows that it seems like, to me, it looks like Lohengram doesn't like this strategy as much either, but he knows that's what he has to do to win. Not unlike Yang said, he wouldn't be able to do that. He doesn't have the ruthlessness to go through with these kind of plans, even if he knows it'll win. Well, Lohengram knows that he needs to win. Yeah. And so he's going to do it.
And that's what makes Lohengram such a great tactician. He
does
what it takes.
It's ruthless, it's shitty, it's really bad, it's bad for everybody, but he knows what he's got to do, and he's going to fucking do it.
I guess he still does it, and it doesn't make it any better, but Lohengram he's kind of a cool character because he recognizes that it's not something that he necessarily wants to do.
He's going to end up being the hero of the show, right?
It's got to be one of the... I almost am certain that him and Yang are going to take over shit together.
I kind of want him to team... I mean, now listen... This is a remake. We could just go watch the original or read the Wikipedia and find out.
Hell, and I might.
Yeah, I might too. But yeah, it really feels like... It feels like Lohengram, we know he's like looking to the throne. He's looking to take over. We don't know that he's going to take over and just leave all the shit the same. It seems like if he did, he would actually change shit. Mm-hmm. So maybe he does end up being the hero of the show.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like he's looking to be the next Rudolph.
Yeah. We'll find out.
Yeah, we will find out, I guess.
Anyway, on to the next bit. He tells him this is to win. Kirshai smiles at that, and he understands, and he goes about his business. Lohengram and Oberstein, then we see them briefing the other admirals. Excuse me, Jesus. The other admirals, and they toast. This is a great scene where they're all holding their wine glasses. They're also not holding them correctly. You hold them by the stem so you don't heat up the wine. I guess if there's a toast, maybe there's different protocol, but that ain't how you hold a wine glass, you assholes. Listen.
I don't know the science behind wine. I'm not going to pretend like I do.
I know enough. I know you don't hold it by the bowl of the thing. You hold it by the stem. That way, not only does it not heat up the wine if it's chilled wine or whatever, but you can also swirl it and actually see it. If you're holding it by the bowl, it's harder to see what's going on in there. That's probably part of the appeal. It's like, oh, it's not just how it tastes, also how it smells and how it looks and the bouquet and blah, blah, blah. All that bullshit.
Anyway. It's like doo-doo anyway.
Oh, you're nuts, dude. There's good wines. I got some good wines.
Mist?
No. There's one I like a lot called Blau. It's very, very bitter, but it's got a good flavor to it. BLAU. They got that at the Twin Liquors if any of y'all want to look them up. You'll know when you see it because it's got the ridiculous holographic, like, it looks like a freaking...
Bitch, it's holographic?
It looks like a... What do you call that shit in Full Metal Alchemist? One of them circles? It looks like a fucking transmutation circle, but it's all, like, shiny and shit. Yeah, one of them.
Yeah.
You don't need a circle if you're doing the clap. If you got the clap. See,
well, the circle still shows up.
Yeah, all right, whatever. Anyway, they're
it's
all
holographic.
They go over their whole plan, how they're going to, get in there and just crush these guys now that they're so stretched out and so without supplies and whatnot. They toast. He says, "Let us toast. Prosit, prosit, prosit." Like they all toast. They drink their wine. They throw down their glasses and shatter them. Pretty cool scene.
Yeah.
That's when you get to see a close-up of Lowengrom's slightly pink lips.
At that point,
his very kissable pink lips.
At that point, I find myself, I'm wondering, how much do these wine glasses cost that they just busted? And then I'm thinking to myself...
That's the cheap stuff, baby.
Then I'm thinking to myself...
Bitch, they got money.
These wine glasses didn't cost anything. This is a cartoon.
Roger, no. Oh, way to kill the illusion. Way to part the curtain there, buddy. It's just an old guy back here.
That was my honest line of thought there.
The worst. All right.
These didn't cost anything.
No, those cost a lot because they had to animate every frame. What are you talking about? Anyway, from there we then see them the Brunhilde Lowengrom's flagship launching, as do the other flagships and the other fleets. And they're rolling out, baby. They're rolling out in force. That's episode 11. We're on to episode 12.
The Verge of Death, Part 2.
I could have guessed that if it was Part 1, the last one. I mean, geez, that makes sense. We get a brief recap. We just see, Reinhardt and his people breaking the glasses again. We see Yang talking to his... saying that he couldn't go through with this kind of stuff. Brief recap, and then... we're on to the actual episode. Roll credits. We're out of the credits. Kirscheyes takes out the supply lines, and he does it fairly succinctly. He just rolls in, and everybody's like, "What the hell? They're attacking us. We're just supply lines." And he's like, "Wow, that's a huge force to be just taking out supply lines." And Kirscheyes is like, "Yup," and just blasts them. Just takes these fuckers out.
And they lose one ship.
Yeah, in the whole kerfuffle, Kirscheyes loses one ship in the whole thing. He's just that fucking good. Oh, Red. I love Red.
I don't know how they haven't figured this out. So, Yang figured this out early.
Yeah.
The supply line is what you separate.
Yeah.
And still, these people are like, why are they attacking the supply line? Why the hell would you not attack
it's
that
not
first?
Why were they attacking. The dude on the ship was concerned that they're attacking with such a large fleet.
Yeah.
He didn't expect that. But they did take him the fuck out. Lohengram... we then see him instructing the other animals to begin the operation, to begin the attack. We then see the 8th Fleet, which is the first to encounter troops. As they're doing so, he's like, "Damn it, we didn't have enough time to retreat." They were trying to get out of there. They didn't have enough time to. And they call command for backup. All the other fleets are apparently being hit simultaneously, and backup is not coming. Yang actually has a chance to withdraw. They actually have enough time to get the hell out of there, but he doesn't. He stays because in this area that they're in, the gases and all these nebulas and whatnot apparently make it long-range weapons unreliable and difficult to wield. So he says, "No, this works for us. We get in close. We take them out with the close-quarters fighters," and he has them launch the Spartanians, which is what they're called.
Yeah, there's your smiley boy, dude.
I did not write down these guys' names, but they are very cool. I think I wrote down one of them.
Well, your question who that smiley guy was.
Yeah, Lieutenant Poplin is that smiley guy. There's these 4 dudes.
He's a smiley boy.
He's a smiley boy. These 4 dudes who basically pilot these little smaller ships that are like
they're A-wings.
The little gunners. They're kind of like A-wings. They're not really A-wings, but they serve the same purpose.
We might as well just call them X-wings, really, because that's kind of...
All right,
they don't look exactly like an X-wing, but
they serve the same purpose. They're the dog fighters. They get out there and they whip a little ass up close.
In just a second, we see them TIE fighters.
But they launch. These 4 dudes who are obviously cool guys. They're all they're the real fighter pilots. They're the fucking Maverick and Goose and shit. They're the fucking what the fuck is that movie I'm quoting right now? Top Gun. Yeah, they're the fucking Top Guns.
To the danger zone, take my breath away.
That's all right. You were way off melody there.
No, that's a different song. No, that's a different song.
Okay.
I was singing a different one.
I mean,
but yes,
mine's the good one.
Highway to the danger zone.
All right,
dude.
Anyway.
Here we go. Whenever I was actually in food management classes with my good buddy Allie.
Mm-hmm.
And we learned about the TDZ, dude, in those classes, and it's all I could think about: the temperature danger zone. The whole damn time. And I tell you, I passed that class, and that class sucked. That it was hard and it was long, and I passed it. And the only thing that I retained from there is highway to the temperature changing zone. And that there are farmers out there in lands where they grow a lot of lettuce, and it's imported to here, and these farmers are just peeing on your lettuce. That's the first thing you can ask our good buddy Allie. That's the first thing. Always wash your lettuce. Yeah, always wash the lettuce, because these farmers are peeing on that lettuce.
Now, do you think they're really peeing on the lettuce, or they're just telling you that? I don't know. This
old man was telling me that they were peeing on lettuce, and that was my note that I had. Don't eat the lettuce. It's been pissed on.
That's why you gotta wash your lettuce, baby. All right.
Don't leave it out, because it'll get in the temperature danger zone.
This is the worst. All right.
There you go. That's fine.
We're back in the shit. Anyway, we see these cool guys, the Spartanians. They all, the four dudes have these little, on their helmets, they have the danger zone. All right. They have on their helmets the different suits from a deck of cards, like, you know, this guy's the heart, this guy's the club, this guy's the diamond. It's pretty cool shit.
The east is burning red.
Wow. The worst. Anyway, they launch. Their weapons aren't hitting. Two of them actually are lost in this in this dogfight they go into.
Hardly knew ye.
Yeah, the other two actually managed to return to base. They find out that with no supplies, the engineers have had difficulty keeping things straight. And Lieutenant Poplin, who's the smiley boy, the cool guy, he's pissed, but he apologizes when he hears that they haven't even been able to eat or drink anything. There's no supplies. These dudes have been the ones who are suffering the most from that. They're starving down here. They haven't been able to focus on their work. Meanwhile, the Spartanians, since they're actually going to be the ones out there fighting, they've actually been able to get some food and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And so he feels bad about that. He apologizes. He says, listen, lasers don't work out here. I need my gun aligned right, so my machine gun, so that we can take these guys out. And he says, well, all right, we'll handle it, sir. And he tells him, the engineer he's talking to vows to get it all fixed up right, and the combat unit makes a promise to them that they're going to take out these Imperials. Meanwhile, back at the 12th fleet,
and these guys are definitely TIE fighters.
Yeah,
they look like TIE fighters.
They whip a little ass though. They're pretty cool. Back at the 12th fleet, they are being picked apart by long range fire. The commander. We actually see a brief scene where, as they're just getting blasted one by one, the commander of the 12th fleet just pulls out a gun and puts it to his own head, and he just gets ready. I'm like, damn, this is a bummer. This fucking blows, dude. And I don't mean to make loud about that guy potentially committing suicide again. If you were anybody,
does it show that guy later?
I don't think it does. I think they either got blown up or he did it. But yeah, talk to somebody, please. Anyway, they're getting picked apart. That dude's doing his thing. Bucock, back at the 5th Fleet, instructs his ship to his ships to keep their escape route open.
Man, I like Bucock too.
Yeah, as they begin to attack and whatnot. He's facing Ruinthal, I believe is that guy's name. The others are being picked apart as well. Everybody's just getting the shit kicked out of them. It is bad all around. Kershise leaves that the supply crew that he had took out. He takes out most of them, leaves their flagship, having taken down 90% of the rest of it, and he just turns off and bails. And the commander in the flagship is just like, he's really just leaving us. Like, we're not even worth facing. Jesus. And he's pissed. Yeah.
Yep.
Back with the 8th Fleet, we see Alon who has two options. He is told by his second in command. He says, we can either surrender or we can flee. And he says, well, never was much for surrendering. I guess we're going to try to flee. And he makes a call to his Commodore Attenborough, who is in another ship, and he tells him, listen, you lead as many ships as you can out. I'm going to open a path, and you need to get as many ships as you can out of here. And he's like, but sir, and he's like, no buts. I'm handling my shit. Bye. And he hangs up. And he does it, man. He goes off and he flies him and a few of his other ships straight into the heart of his attacking force. And they blast and they go and they manage to cut a path through the middle of it. And Commodore Attenborough manages to pull about half of the remaining ships out. And they get out. And they made it, man. And then the rest of the Alonhu and the rest of his ships end up blasted straight to hell, and he's gone. Pretty big bummer there. The Alliance is now facing just overwhelming odds. It's real bad. However, Yang's 13th Fleet manages to hold off their attackers in retreat, but as they are moving back to Easterlone, they detect ships 3 times as many as they have, no call signs, and I'm like, oh shit, is it Kirschai's? Yes, Kirschai's. And Kirschai's faces him down. Their ships are moving in to attack. Yang has no choice but to actually try to face these guys because they can't exactly run away now. Not without significant losses anyway. And they're getting ready. Back on Easterlone, Lobos gives the orders to for all remaining
He finally
fleets.
woke up from his nap.
He woke up. He was woken up when they started attacking, I guess. But
They woke him up inside.
he damn it, Roger.
Can't wake up.
Save me. Bucock's out there like, save me. Anyway, he's woken up. He's talking to Admiral Greenhill, and he tells him, listen, tell all the remaining fleets to, just unite, continue the attack. We're not done here. Just have them all circle up in this area, and we're going to keep on blasting. And he says that the High Council's not going to accept the loss, and I'm not going to give him one. Greenhill's pissed. He knows that more are going to die. He knows they can't finish this. But when he tries to argue, Lobos is just like, that was an order, asshole. Get to it. Cute. Young then is now facing Kirschai's, but he's being cautious about it. And when the call comes through, the call to disengage comes. He says, all right, well, we can try that, but we're going to lose a lot of people. And he says, all right, well, the call's going through to everybody, and they all know that they're not going to just be able to retreat now. And Yang enacts the plan to retreat and regroup. He has them all form a big column so that at least when they're shooting, only the people at the very back are actually being shot. That's shitty. It's the best they can do. The rest of them are trying to get away. And it's just like a showdown between him and Kirschai's, just flashes between the two of them. Sustaining heavy losses, but they are moving away. But then, like an RKO out of nowhere, the fucking 7th Fleet rolls on through.
That's my space effects.
That's your space effects. They come on through. They start attacking. Kirschai's in what is for sure a suicide dive, but it gives Yang and his fleet just enough time to get out. And he tells them to keep moving. And a few of his officers are like, but we can't just leave. And he's like, if we go back, we all die. We don't have a choice here. And they salute the 7th Fleet as they leave. But they do leave. We then see Lohengram and Oberstein on Lohengram's ship. They see that the Alliance is moving to Armister, I believe is the name of it. And he says, all right, well, we're going to move there as well. If they want to regroup and keep fighting, if they've chosen Armister as their grave, then we'll bury them. And that's the plan. And they start moving to the same area where the Alliance is regrouping. And then we get the voiceover, October 14th, Imperial blah-de-blah, year 487, UC 796, Yang and Lohengram will cross paths again at the Battle of Armister, which is where the... Armitzer, which is where the fucking... that episode ends. That's the end of this first season. We know that there's more coming. Mm-hmm. Of course, we knew it was 110 goddamn episodes, so we weren't going to get a great resolution here.
I wish there was just
pretty good setup.
I wish they would have finished out the battle.
Yeah, I wish there would have been a bit more there, but
that was a bit anticlimactic.
Yeah, a little bit. But however, we know more's coming.
However, these episodes were so effective into getting me into it.
Yeah, I'm into it for sure. Yeah,
that I'm definitely going to be watching these.
You know, the only downside. Definitely gonna be a different theme song.
Yeah, that is a downside.
When they bring it back, if the theme song ain't pumping like this one, you know what? I might have to just drop it. check out the old series. I've been seeing a lot of people post about that lately, so obviously it's some hot shit. But anyway, yeah I really enjoyed I did this so far. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's hard to give like a full account of it since we know that there's more and it's not the whole thing.
More
but
coming out.
For what it was, I really enjoyed this. It gave you a lot of good character development.
I do kind of have a problem with the way that it ends because too many animes take this gamble.
Oh, that like, we'll definitely keep going.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get funded.
Oh no, they already knew this. They already know that this show is an institution.
Wildly popular.
Yeah, this show is an institution, if nothing else. So they know they're going to be able to keep going. They've already announced that there's going to be 3 more.
I feel like it's still dangerous.
There's like 3 movies of 4 episodes each, or whatever, which comes out to 12 episodes of the next season. Yeah.
And these last few episodes were definitely started making you feel like Yang was the more important character. He was the main character.
Hear the beating of me. I'm not gonna sing
all the words, but I'll sing anyway. I'll sing anyway. Jing, 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 jing.
I can feel
This is a song that you have a space battle to, dude.
It's good shit. It is a very cool song.
Binary.
Is that the main takeaway that we just that we love the song? Give me 3 words, man. Can we do 3 words on this one?
I've been trying to ask you 3 words this whole time, and I keep getting distracted.
I asked you first, asshole. Go.
Oh man. I would say that it is. I would say for the most part, the character designs and stuff. This anime is gorgeous.
Sure.
I would give it the gorgeous treatment.
A lot of people don't like the character designs compared to the older ones.
I think mostly they're good. Really good.
I think they're mostly good,
except for a couple exceptions there.
That fucking coconut head, baby.
Yeah.
That chromy coconut.
It's that reverse coconut, dude.
It's the worst. Oh, the milk's on the outside.
So gorgeous, epic, and a bit anticlimactic.
Sure.
The end.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's that's a hard one to swing because you know that it's an ongoing story.
I say it's a very light anticlimactic.
110 goddamn episodes. Yeah. You don't think they're gonna do 110 on this one, do you?
No.
It's like 9 seasons.
I'm actually curious to know how many episodes this covered.
Yeah, I would be interested to know that too. But yeah, it's I would definitely agree with you on the epic. Mm-hmm. I would say it's I'll do 2 words for 1 point. So I would say it is epic and very character driven. I really like the character development they did with these guys. Like after just those first 2 episodes, I felt like I had a very good feel for who these main characters are. Mm-hmm. And I'm really into it, man. I'm really interested into seeing what happens next. I might have to just, find the original series and check that out. Though apparently it's fairly hard to get a hold of. I think I showed you a thing where there was like a Legend of Galactic Heroes special edition Blu-ray that you can get all the episodes plus all this cool behind the scenes stuff, production notes and pictures. Comes with these 2 big medallions, one with
Is that
Reinhardt,
the special edition that you were showing
There's
me?
a special edition. You can get it for $800 only 2,000 of those made, to which someone on the Twitter responds to that, hey, is there going to be a regular edition? No.
Yeah, no.
Well, it ain't special, is it? You're just charging a bunch for the show.
Yeah.
It's fine. Which is why apparently a lot of folks have resorted to this is apparently a fairly regularly pirated anime, which, hey man, I guess the original series that is. But
I'm waiting for the pirates to appear in this anime altogether.
Yeah.
So I did like it though. I liked it a whole lot. A lot more than I think I thought I was going to like.
Yeah, I don't think I was expecting so much out of it. But
going on a whim, be like, oh, we haven't decided an anime to watch. What about this one?
That is literally what happened here. So I think we picked good. I think it was good stuff.
Yeah, I think we did a good job.
But let us know what you think, good buddies. Shoot us some comments. Leave us some recommendations maybe for another show we can watch.
Tell us what you thought about stretch ass Magneto helmet.
Please tell me what you thought. I need to know what y'all thought about that fool. He looks so fucking stupid. I hate him. He's the worst.
So next week, we'll go ahead and go over what we're going to do next week.
Yes, now, let's say that now because we keep forgetting.
Ultimately, I don't know how many episodes we're going to cover. Mm-hmm. Just know that there's going to be a mass coverage of some sort of season 3 of My Hero Academia, to the point to where we're going to start doing regular episodes of My Hero Academia. So say that we do our big block, which we're not going through every single episode. We're just going to hit highlights.
We're going to hit the highlights, do a brief overview.
And we're going to give our thoughts on some of our favorite parts up to a certain number of episodes in season 3. And then we're going to get it to a normal stream of say De Noite say it took us three episodes to cover this. So by then we'll have 3 episodes charged up. So after we finish a regular series, we'll do our episode of MHA, then another series, and then our episode of MHA. Because it's kind of I feel like it's kind of a no-brainer to have MHA in here. We both really love it, and we talk about the episodes weekly, but why not incorporate it into the podcast?
Now, are we going to try to... Okay, hopefully y'all are watching this show because it's amazing. It's one of the best like superhero-based things.
I think a lot of people are watching it.
That said, if you're not, we're probably not going to talk about the first 2 seasons very much. We're just going to jump right in on 3.
We'll just hit back to it when it's important.
Yeah.
A couple of questions if you guys want to help us along. I do have a couple of things put out where people are giving us some feedback right now on how they want to do it. Like I said, it's not entirely thought out yet, but next week you will for sure have something of some form of a large portion of MHA episodes from season 3. But what we need to know are things like, would you prefer us to keep in line with the dub? Me and Brandon usually watch the dub, and that kind of would keep it spoiler free for anybody that's not watching the sub. But if y'all would prefer that we keep up with sub or whatever, at least let us know. Just let us know what you're thinking, so we kind of have a feeling. Or if you're cool with the whole dub, us following that schedule, then just let us know. Because me and Brandon neither one of us are any strangers to watching subs. So
yeah, I mean, I'm all into that Hanabata right now. Ain't nobody dubbing that anytime soon. I don't think.
So you guys let us know kind of how you would like to hear us. If you would like us to cover up to the point where there are, where they are in the subs, or if it's okay to do in the dubs. We're not going to go all the way up to where the manga is. But we are going to hit some speculation and stuff like that. Let us know if you would prefer. I think we're going to do it as 3 episodes because that just kind of makes sense since typically. But we could do 4 if that's something you guys wanted.
This is where feedback really matters.
Yeah.
Otherwise, hey, we just going to fuck around and fuck it up.
Yeah, either way, you're getting some MHA. We're doing some MHA with you guys. So, and we're super stoked about it because we obviously really love that show, and I know tons and tons and tons of you guys and other people do. The anime group that I was asking about, it has a little over 100 people. I think it's got like 140 people or something, and I can say with certainty, and in the post I said, I know at least 90% of us here love My Hero Academia. So, like I said, it feels like a no-brainer to do. So you guys just let us know your thoughts, or, maybe some suggestions for us, what would be cool to do.
Holla holla.
Yep.
Holla holla, get dollars.
But, so yeah, next week, some odd large portion of season 3 of MHA.
I think the original plan was going to be like up to
49, I think.
To
One for All.
Yeah, like up to One for All. I said let's do like up to when they changed the opening theme song.
Yeah.
Because that was like its whole little block, and then we're getting into like the next block.
Yeah,
now.
That makes sense. And I think that very well might be what you get. I don't know just yet.
We'll know for sure next week. Obviously,
we'll do some math and time things out a little bit.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, we got some questions.
We got some questions.
We do got some questions.
We got some questions. You send us these questions.
There's our question solo.
Hell yeah. Tell me about
our
the stud.
Good buddy Clayton.
Oh shit, the boy is back.
Clayton is back, and he wants to know who is the least lovable character in anime.
That's a no-brainer. I can tell you right now who is the least loved character in all animes ever.
It better not be my boy Mineta.
Nah, I tell you go first, man. Because I know who it is. Do you want me to just tell you who it is?
Yeah, I want you to go first.
I'll tell you who it is. I'll tell you who is the least loved, and by least love, I mean most hated.
Okay.
Shao Tucker.
Ooh, that sorry son of a bitch.
No,
dude.
there you will not find anyone who is more hated.
Oh, he is bad, dude. That one is bad.
I think I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna just Google most hated anime character.
Yeah. Let's get the big.
Let's get the consensus.
And let me think for a second. The most hated anime character.
Let's see.
I'm trying to think of someone extra annoying.
Anime Planet has a whole page dedicated specifically to top hated, and a page for top loved.
You know what? I got one right now, and
Tell me.
I'm gonna say, we don't have very much on this character yet, but I can tell you, dude, they are gonna be the villain of fucking villains.
Who's that?
And it's Bondrewd, dude.
Bondrewd's a sack of shit for sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna say Bondrewd from Main Abyss. There we go. Lost my title for a really great anime.
Man, these guys really. There's a lot of Naruto in here. But yeah, man. I'm just gonna say your boy don't fuck around. Fucking called it #1 most hated. Shao fucking Tucker.
Shao Tucker, dude, you freaking nailed it.
#2 Sakura from Naruto. They hate Sakura. #3 Sasuke. They hate Sasuke. Let's just go top 10. 4 Misa Amane from Death Note. 5 Nier. They hate Nier. 6 Nina Einstein from Code Geass. 7 Nobuyuki Sugo from Sword Art Online. I never watched that. 8 Denzo Shimura, also from Naruto Shippuden. 9 Kabuto Yakushi, also from Naruto. And 10 Mello from Death Note. That makes sense. That guy was kind of a dick. Would you like to guess who the #1 top loved character is? Keep in mind what we just read, how most of those characters from this or that series.
Is it Nina Tucker?
No, she's not here.
Yeah, okay, so
there's a lot of Naruto, there's a decent amount of Full Metal Alchemist, and a decent amount of
I'm gonna say
Death Note.
Alphonse Elric.
Alphonse Eric. Well, I'm not seeing him.
What? He's lovable.
He's very lovable. I'm not seeing him in the top 10. Edward's actually #2. You know who #1 most loved character?
Is it Naruto?
You know if they hate L, or if they hate Nier and they hate Mello, they gotta love L. He's #1. Anyway.
Over Al?
Least lovable characters, it's for sure Shao Tucker. But
yeah, I'm going to say
Bondrewd. I feel like it's a little bit different to say who is the most hated versus least lovable. Because, to me, least lovable kind of sounds like you're supposed to like this person, but you don't.
Yeah. Well, they do have sort of... Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood kind of has a sort of a redemption arc for Shao Tucker.
Oh, fuck all that.
They kind of do though.
Still
and I'm not saying that it works, but he comes back as a weird freak with the upside down head or whatever.
Oh, that wasn't in Brotherhood. That was in the regular series.
Oh, was it regular? Was it not in Brotherhood at all?
I don't remember that in Brotherhood. I'll need to relook it up. But in the regular series, yeah, he's like a freaky deaky like bear dog man with an upside down head. That was in the first anime series. And then Brotherhood, I believe. I don't remember what happened to him, bro. I don't remember him coming back as a upside down face man because I was looking for that when I watched it, having watched the original series already. No, I think he just kind of fucked off. I think maybe they killed him or put him in prison.
You might be right.
But if we're talking like, here's a character you're supposed to love that you don't. I usually hate when they have like, it can be done well, it can be done good, where like there's a female character who's like, the real what was that shit they made fun of it in Fooly Cooly, tsundere or whatever, yeah. Where they're like kind of like, it's not like like they're kind of mean to you kind of girls, even though they're supposed to like, even though like they may or may not secretly have feelings or whatever. I usually don't go for that kind of character, although it can be done well. So pretty much anyone that pulls that shit, I would not be down with. It's Asuka. I hate Asuka.
Oh man, I love Asuka.
I know. I just said that to piss you off.
You might as well say Mineta for the.
Oh yeah, it's Mineta. I can't stand Mineta. He is
supposed to be lovable.
I can't stand his ass. I can't fucking stand him. Yeah, that would be my least lovable. My most hated would be Shao Tucker. My least lovable would be Mineta. Mineta bums me out. It's like, dude, just stop. Just
I love him, dude. I'll give you my autograph.
It's the worst. I hate that character so much. He's just a little fucking weirdo.
Brandon, you're the only one that I know that hates him, dude.
I know people who hate him.
Yeah, I bet you do.
I sent you that fucking.
I bet you do.
I sent you that fucking video. I showed you that video where there was like it's some kind of anime convention or something. There's a bunch of cosplayers, a bunch of girls dressed as My Hero Academia characters, and they had a Mineta piñata, and they were swinging at him, and they were like, "Just fucking kick him, and like she kicks the shit out of him, and all the candy falls out of his diapered ass. He wears a fucking diaper.
It's
Fuck
a
Mineta.
UFO, dude.
He wears a diaper. Fuck Mineta.
He's the best, dude.
I hate him.
He's the best.
I don't hate him. I just don't like
that
him.
I don't care for would be probably any character from Inuyasha.
Inuyasha.
Yeah. Can't stand a single one of them.
Oh man, not even the fucking ninja girl. She was cool. All right. I wasn't as into that. I tried to get into that show. I watched quite a decent amount of it, but then like I realized, it's like 1,000 episodes, and I just read the spoiler from the end, and I was like, well, this sucks. Nah, fuck it. And I was just out. Anyway,
Manetta's the best.
Anyway,
so
our
good buddy Elson, our good buddy Tookie.
My good buddy Tookie.
He wrote in a great question here.
Bring it on, Tookie.
He says, have you felt that Shingeki no Kyojin, Attack on Titan, has been a little stale this season? Or is it just me? Has the hype train for Attack on Titan left the station? Or have I just moved on to the next shiny thing? And to be completely open, me and Brandon have not watched any of the new season. I am further along in Brandon. I've watched season 2.
I have not even watched season 2, baby. I'm a hype train hipster. I was off that train 2 stops ago.
Yes, and
don't get me wrong. I really enjoyed that first series, but it took so long for the second one to come out. I was kind of like, I don't give a shit anymore.
I like the second one better than the first. The first.
So you're saying I need to jump on?
The first series is really good for that first half of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that next half is absolutely dreadful.
Meh.
I did not care for it.
That was okay.
But the second season picked up a little bit. We start getting, start figuring a little more out about the world, and some crazy new characters come in. But that second season, even being better than the first, in my opinion, still was kind of lackluster. And I think a lot of the hype for Attack on Titan was one of the first big anime that Netflix secured.
Mm-hmm.
It was on Netflix, and people lost their shit. Everybody in the world that had never seen anime before, they had maybe seen Dragon Ball Z or something like that, and they all just assumed that anime was like that. Saw this, and there were these big giant creatures, and it was
gory and biting people in half.
This kid's mother in half.
That was a fucked up scene.
Yeah, it sure was. That's how it opened, and that flash and gore caught people's eye.
It was like, oh
damn! But once they realized,
it'd be like that, huh?
That they had to watch a whole bunch more of an anime, it just kind of fell off at the first season, and it was. I think a lot of it wasn't so much the story that people were drawn to; it was the gore, waiting to get people getting eaten by the Titan.
Sure.
Yeah. I think once that started falling, they're like, okay, well, nobody's getting eaten anymore. This is just that weeb shit now.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, man. I'm just off the show. I always
thought that Attack on Titan was a good anime, but not a great anime.
Sure. I gotta tell you, like I said, I didn't even watch season 2. I'm like, I'm just off it already. So, yeah, I think, as I said, my good buddy Tookie, I'm what you call a hype train hipster. I was already off. You're thinking about jumping off now, baby. I was already gone.
I'm gonna say that I will probably watch the 3rd season. But I'm more excited for other things. So yeah, I think we'll all just kind of move on to the next.
Tell you what, I'm hyped for fucking badminton.
Oh god damn it!
It's just so
the hype train that I'm on is that My Hero Academia.
It's very good,
and
we are going to talk about it next week.
I don't think that I'm going to hop off of it because I really
they'd have to fuck up pretty.
Where
bad.
I thought that Attack on Titan wasn't that special, and a lot of other people did. I never thought it was that special. I thought it was somewhat predictable. My Hero Academia turned shit on its head.
Let me say, when my good buddy Roger says somewhat predictable, this is the fool who, after I had finished watching that show, when they were still saying, season 2's finally going to come out next year or something, I was talking to him about this show, and he's like, I already know who all the big Titans are. I already know who they are. I know exactly who they are. And I was like, okay, dude, chill.
Yeah, and I did know who they were, and I was absolutely right. And I confirmed with my good buddy Allie, and she's like, how did you know that? I'm like, well, I've been watching anime for so many goddamn years.
You can pick them apart.
You can look at their damn hairstyles and stuff. You can figure it out.
For the most part. Yeah, when the big Lady Titan showed up, I was like, I know that nose.
When Homeboy goes into Big Lady Titan's hand and then he comes out, you start thinking that something is up.
No, as soon as I saw Lady Titan and I was like, I saw that
it's
nose and I was like, oh, I know that nose. It was the nose for me.
Oh, yeah, the nose too. But the hair as well. Like it's and she was in a group with a couple other guys, and one of them guys flies into her hand. She closes that damn hand, and homeboy flies out.
Dumb. Anyway. Yeah,
But My Hero Academia is unpredictable.
Roger Moore, anime detective.
As nobody knows who the hell that traitor is. Or
I know exactly who it is. I already told you.
Who is it, dude?
It's Naval Boy.
You think it's Naval Laser,
He's gonna shoot that. Pew,
I think
pew,
it's too
pew,
easy to be Naval Laser.
Pew, pew. You think it's the cop?
Yeah, I think it's the damn cop, dude.
Don't trust the popo.
You can't trust the damn popo.
All right. We've gotten way off track with this class. Thank you.
But we will definitely be hitting some theories like that over.
We will.
I can't wait to do My Hero Academia, dude.
Our good buddies Clayton, Tookie, thank you so much for the questions. You're both beautiful people. I love
you guys are great. Thank y'all so much.
If anyone else wants to send a question, remember you can do that and all that stuff. Are we wrapping it up? Are we winding it down?
We're wrapping it up, dude. We need to hit some plugs.
Well, let's wind it down. If anyone else would like to send us questions, remember we have, of course, the Gmail. That's
the Good Buddies Anime Pod at gmail.com.
Indeed. We also do have the Facebook group. That is the Good Buddies Universe.
Yep.
We have the Twitter feed, TGB_anime pod.
All lowercase.
I don't think it matters on Twitter if it's lowercase.
I'm just gonna say it anyway.
I'm just gonna punch it up right now with caps and see if I'm not actually gonna
ding dong. See what you think about that.
You want me to punch you in the ding dong?
I want you to punch it up, dude.
The fuck?
Like a sock and bopper, dude.
The word. More fun than a pillow fight. All right. That was the Facebook. We got the Twitter. We also do have the Tumblr, thegoodbuddies.tumblr.com. You can send us questions and asks and anything else on any of those. Leave us a comment. Leave us a rating. You also do have the YouTube channel where you may be listening to this right now. That is Rapid Kick Media.
Yep.
Leave us a comment and rating there.
Rapid Kick Media is also the Instagram. Go check that out because I'm doing more anime posts.
Yeah, the Instagram's pretty sick. The dude's always taking picture of his games and animes with his bird or cat or dog in the frame and getting like hundreds of likes. Hundreds of likes off the cute factor.
I say on Instagram, I will be disappointed if this photo does not get at the very least 100 likes.
This guy, he's a real Instagram.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, dude. I like that Instagram.
The worst, man.
Hate all the rest, but yes.
As for the podcast, you can also find our podcast itself wherever fine podcasts are sold, even though we don't sell them. We are not on Spotify because fuck them, but we are on the Podcast Addict. That's what I use. We're on Stitcher. We're on Podbean. Podcast.com, I think, was the regular thing.
Did you already say iTunes?
iTunes. We are on iTunes. Google Play. You can leave us ratings, comments, anything there. Pretty much anywhere you can leave a comment. If you leave one, odds are we're going to find it. If you leave us a question or something cool like that, go ahead and do it. But yeah, I think. Of course, that's it for the media. Yes.
Yes.
I always ask you that to make sure. Do want to give a shout out to our good buddies Married with Seamonsters, a.k.a. the Mary Janes, for the use of our opening theme song.
That show was bopping, and I did get on that night. I posted our episode early last week.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I could try to type out that note for him.
I missed it, of course. I was working.
Was bopping,
sorry.
Though. It was good.
Man, I wish I could have been there. But our opening theme song is Paperdoll, which you can find on marriedwithseamonsters.bandcamp.com. They're also on Spotify, but not that one and not their real cool stuff. Yeah, some cool stuff on Spotify, don't get me wrong, but check out marriedwithseamonsters.bandcamp.com if you really want to be cool. We also want to thank our good buddy Petty Theft.
Oh, yeah.
That's 2 P's at the beginning, 2 T's at the end. Petty Theft, who is on SoundCloud and Twitter under Petty Theft, for the use of our ending theme, which are we officially calling it, or
Sweet Anime Dreams.
Sweet Anime Dreams.
Right now.
We love it. If anyone, we'll change the name every few episodes just to fuck with people.
Yeah.
But check them out. Check them out. They got some cool stuff.
Check out his melody.
Yeah, man.
Special.
Yeah, dude, sick. But I think that's about it. So
let me talk about my good buddy Parker and Braxton real quick.
Oh yeah, we want to give a quick shout out to. Are you a what? How's it go?
Are you a lover of mysteries?
Can I do it?
Yeah, man. Of course.
Give me the thing.
There you go.
Let me do one of these.
There you go.
Oh,
man.
I love this shit. All right, here we go.
I'll do some backing noise.
Give me some. All right. Are you a lover of mysteries? A seeker of the unknown? If so, check out Hidden, a podcast that takes a closer look at all things cults, cryptids, and conspiracies. We update every other Wednesday. It's great. Check it out. There was not an episode this past Wednesday, correct? So this coming Wednesday, there will be one. The show's super cool. He's really going in with the creepy sounds. But yeah, that's our good buddies Parker and Braxton. They do a really cool show. We love it. I love it. I love listening to it. I'm subscribed.
Check them out.
It's sick, dude. It's really sick.
They've already bite and it'll leave you wanting more.
They did an episode on what was it again? They already did the Church of Wells. They've done Mothman and then this last one was I don't remember what it was called. Yeah. It was a Japanese death cult, suicide murder cult.
God, it's right onto my tongue.
I'm
thinking about it right now.
I don't know how to pronounce it, which is why I'm not trying.
That's called Shinriko. I think that's how you say it.
Shinriko?
Yeah. A-U-M.
Yeah, Shinriku.
Shinrikyo.
You know what? I'm embarrassing myself.
Yeah, Shinrikyo.
I've already said I'm not Japanese. I don't know these languages.
Shinrikyo.
But yeah, that was a really fun episode. They, again, gave us a cool shout out on that one and called us the Good Buddies show.
Is it the Good Buddies show?
I'm so down for it.
Yeah.
I'm so cool.
You check out that Good Buddies show.
Oh, it's so good, dude. But yeah, they have a great show. Check them out. But I think that's it for the plugs, yes?
I think so, man.
So remember, we're going to be breaking down first maybe 11, 12, 13, we're not sure yet, episodes of season 3 of MHA.
Yeah, just know that it's going to be a chunk, and it's going to be more of us interacting with our thoughts and stuff like that.
Yeah. We're not actually just going to break it straight up.
Yeah, we're not going through every single one of those episodes. It'll take us literally forever.
Yeah, no way. But we will be talking about them, our feelings. Do you remember this badass thing that happened?
Yeah, little boy Spike Hat, man. How cool was that thing?
Sick shit, dude. But I think that's it. And you're taking us out, yes?
Yeah, I am, dude.
All right, so from all of us here at the Good Buddies Universe, I'm your good buddy Brandon.
And I'm your good buddy Roger. Binary is a central field. Why?